Everyone, welcome to the Electric Supercar channel. This week we're going to be tackling the Jeep. So we've spent the last several months electrifying this.
370 volts. It worked.
Let's go. This has a Tesla Model S performance motor with 600 horsepower. We've got it configured to do all-wheel drive. Previously, we've done things like power steering. We've also got the battery boxes all put together. This week, we're gonna get the motor spinning, and that's a pretty big milestone. So let's get to it.
In the back, doing the rear battery box mounting. What we're gonna end up doing is the rear brackets. So we'll mount here and here. We need to figure out a way to get these brackets bolted to the hitch, and then it goes down and has kind of an L that supports the battery box and has some mounting holes to the battery box. So we've got to get it bolted up here to support the back of the battery box. And we also have some front mount bolt to the front of the battery box and use this bolt here. It's a big bolt. So, and then obviously some mounting holes to the battery box. Marking where the holes that I need to add. We have a factory hole here already. So I'm marking where the holes need to be. I'm gonna drill them out pretty big so that we can get some nuts up in place up in here. So there'll be 4 of them. Weld that nut in, and then we'll bolt the bracket to it so it can be removable. It'll be welded up inside here, and that way I can grind down any welds flat so we can get a flat mounting surface. So that's the plan. I've got all the nuts that I'm going to weld in there. Make sure the bolt still threads in. All I have to do is a few tacks just to hold it in place since it's sitting on top of the metal. Attach it to the magnet, fish it in to each one of the holes. So after I fish the nut into here with a magnet, get it down here, hold it in place, and then I have this aluminum sleeve over the bolt, and the bolt threads into the nut, and then I can hold it down while I tack it in place, and then that way the weld doesn't stick to the aluminum, and then I can take this off, finish welding, and then grind down, and then I've got this. So because it's sitting on top, I can just tack it in place in several places, and it'll hold super strong because it's inside, and I don't have to worry about anything else. All right, we're just gonna get these rear bolts for the hitch installed now that we have these 3 done on the box. All right, the battery is in. Got the rear plates in, got these 3 bolts here, carrying the bottom, those nuts that we welded into the hitch, got those 4 bolts. Those are a 5/16 bolt, so it's super strong. I just wanted to get it in place so that I knew where to put the gussets. 2 of these on each side. So I just want to make sure that the angle's right before I weld them in place. Then we've got the front brackets in. Can't really see it. Well, I guess you can see it there. So got those brackets bolted to the front here. Got spacers and bolted through. Replaced the old bolts with some longer bolts, obviously. Gonna weld in these gussets now. Got 4 of them, 2 each. Just got a magnet holding it in, and gonna tack it first. Probably do all the welding.
For today's sponsor, we have MUCAR 892 BT. Wow, that's a nice big screen. There's the Bluetooth remote that you put into your OBD2 port. It's magnetic, so it kind of can stay there. Little wall adapter, so you got lots of different countries that this would work with. All the cables and connections you could want. So let's go try it out. Go ahead and take this one off the back, and then we'll put it in the OBD2 port. All right, you heard it click or make a noise, so it is connected. All right, so the on button is right up here. This is the MUCAR 892 BT AI-assisted bidirectional scan tool, a powerful diagnostic device designed to help you understand and repair vehicle problems faster. It performs full system diagnostics, allowing you to scan major vehicle systems like the engine, transmission, and more to quickly detect faults and warning codes. With bidirectional control, the tool can send commands directly to the vehicle's computer to test components like fuel pumps, cooling fans, windows, or lights. So again, here we can do oil maintenance reset, steering angle reset, TPMS reset. So again, those are all the things that are nice to have at your fingertips. So here, let's do on, off. So again, we can do, that's the horn, as well as I did the AC switch input. This helps you confirm whether parts are working properly before replacing them. The scanner also supports ECU coding, which allows you to customize certain vehicle settings, activate hidden features, or match new components after repairs. Like a trouble code is for an Audi. Okay, and so it gives you, it's a camshaft position, timing to advanced, gives you the symptoms, like what you can expect, and then also you've got guidance, so maintenance guidance. The VCT alignment is not accurate, crankshaft is not correctly fixed, and so it even gives you like replacement parts and things like that. So you could be your own mechanic with just this little tool. With an 8-inch touchscreen, Bluetooth connectivity, and lifetime free updates, this scanner keeps your diagnostics accurate and up to date without subscription fees. Whether you're a professional mechanic or a car owner who likes to handle maintenance yourself, the MUCAR 892BT gives you deeper control over vehicle diagnostics. So again, I love these sort of diagnostic tools. I think they can be very helpful, and if it saves even just one trip to the mechanic, it's probably worth it. So if you're interested in a product like this, I'll leave a link in the video description below. For those of you who can't remember, we did do the battery boxes for the Jeep already. So this required a lot of assembly, and we got the outside box together, we got the modules in, but we still needed to do all the wiring. So we asked Russ to get all the cell taps and thermistors wired. So got all the cell taps, thermistors, and now we're doing essentially the bus bars. And beyond that, we are gonna do something a little bit special. We've got some polycarbonate tops, and we're gonna have some LED lighting. Now that we've got the rear battery box mount, previously we had already done the front battery box mount. So we have the ability to mount both batteries. However, we wanted to test things just kind of on the bench first. All right, we've got the battery boxes for the Jeep, small one and the big one. We're getting ready to kind of try and test these. These are all buttoned up. This has been a long time in the making, a lot of connections. This one's got the DC fast charging. So yeah, getting it all ready, gonna plug it in and start talking to things. So we did do pre-charge just on the relay, so it is getting 12-volt signal for a very, very brief time. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on the circuit. Here it goes. So we'll go ahead and turn it off. All right, so we are on pin 8 of the thermistor. All right, so we've been kind of troubleshooting. We checked the H-fill circuit, we checked power, ground. We did find one CAN pin that was unplugged. So now it's time for round 2. Tony, what is your guess, your percentage? Last time, what did I say?
You said 20.
20. So now I think I'm up to 30. What do you think?
I think 30's.
So you think it's less than 30?
Oh, it clicked. And nobody died. Win! Woo!
Okay, so we just need to check that high voltage is going past contactors.
It's like just getting that.
All right, so we're trying to get a baseline of what's happening. So it's on, is it on right now?
It's on.
So system is on.
No voltage.
Can you do a continuity check across?
Between the contactor points?
Yeah, because one contactor might be open. So,
You want to trade this one first? Not
so
that one?
these two are the CCS ones. So there's this
You
one.
want that one?
Oh crap, the other one's like actually inside the battery.
No continuity.
Okay, so that one's closed. Okay, so turn it off.
And then press the same button.
So again, I would go for continuity
Can
here.
we do continuity still?
Just to see if, because one of the contactors is going, we just don't know which one.
Ready?
Yep.
Yep. So that's that guy.
Okay, so we're learning some stuff. All right, so we found with the battery, we've actually got 2 boxes, right? So kind of a front and rear. Right now they're not connected. We wanted to kind of get contactors closing and things like that, but it's got a high voltage sense for both the positive and the negative, and basically without both packs connected, so again, that one and that one, it really doesn't see kind of the positive and negative. So we're gonna have to connect them before we move along further. Okay, we're gonna try again. 3, 2, 1. Sounded different. Okay, so I think next step is measure, see if it's happy or not. It says it's doing 26 watts. Is that right? 2 amps?
2 amps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess just the first thing is just across there if we got voltage. We have voltage.
370 volts.
Dang.
It worked.
Let's go.
So yeah, it was at high voltage sense. Do you want to try and measure pre-charge? See if it comes up slow?
I think we should.
You want me to do voltage and see if it comes up slow, or do you want me to do continuity?
I think I'd do voltage.
Okay.
You tell me when you're ready. Okay.
Unless it was really, really fast.
All right, so we were able to get contactors to close. We've got high voltage and things. We did bypass the H-fill just because we don't have all the plugs plugged in. We want to make sure the system worked before we kind of button things up. So next step was we got to get all the plugs to plug in, make sure H-fill is happy. There was a couple thermistors that weren't happy, so we turned those ones off, but we got to figure out what's wrong with those. Probably just also check the mini contactors for all the auxiliary things like heat, AC, DC to DC converting, and charging. I'm trying to think of anything else, but yeah, that's some big progress. Now that we've got contactors and things to close, we wanted to see if we get the motor to spin. That is one of the biggest milestones of the build. So our plan was just to roll the battery boxes kind of under the car, somewhat in position, and get everything wired up, including the motor. All right, so we're getting the rear battery box in position, making sure it's gonna fit, and cable management's gonna be okay. All right, we are getting the battery packs in position so we can do a first motor spin. All right, so are we to the point where we are wanting to do this? All right, so Tony says yes. Russ?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Go.
So we've got the batteries. I'll just show you here. So the front one's actually mounted, the back one's just right here. We've got low voltage plugged in, high voltage plugged in, and to the motor. So what does it show us for our high voltage reading? 61? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you push brake pedal, we should get a red light there. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, nice.
You want to see
So
accelerator
yeah, let's see
as well?
accelerator pedal. So that's moving. So now we want to push the brake pedal and switch gears.
How confident are you?
Let's go. Anybody going to give percentages? Percentage it'll work?
80%.
80%? That's pretty good.
I think 80 is good.
80? Yeah, I'm with 80. Let's go.
You're really?
Yeah.
You ready?
YOLO.
Okay.
Let's see if we can make the tires bullish from full throttle.
So it says
Oh,
drive.
they're going.
Keep in mind, I don't have brake pressure, so I just have to neutral swing when you want to stop.
So motor's going. All 4 wheels are going.
It's awesome. Dude, just looking at John's face, I love it.
That's pretty sweet.
It's getting better.
It just needs to rub in.
We can go for a
Go for reverse.
Okay.
And we're in reverse. We've got things loose on the motor, just FYI. That's some of the noise you hear. That is awesome, though.
That is a great question, Jeremy.
Faults. Done checking faults. So no faults. Awesome. Good work, guys. All right. So this is our Jeep. It's got the motor going. All 4 wheels are going. It's a pretty big milestone. So I know everybody will be like me. They want to see the car moving. We've got to do some things with the brakes. With this customer, we're actually going to do some brake upgrades. The other thing is, before we put the battery boxes in for good, there is the fast charging system. We want to have access to that and be able to make sure it works before we kind of get everything put in place. So bear with us. We're going to do a couple more things, but then you'll get to see this thing moving. So that is a major milestone for the Jeep. We've got the motor spinning. With high voltage working and connected, it also means we can do some of the other high voltage systems like heat, AC, DC to DC, and charging. So that's pretty awesome. We got the motor spinning. That gets us that much closer. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Look at those. Those are so thick.